Hey, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to put on your own car decals. So this is actually my first time doing this. And when I first started the project, I was messing up a lot. So if you do it for the first time, don't get too discouraged. Just keep on doing it. You'll learn. I threw out a lot of vinyl. Luckily, I had a lot extra. By the end of the project, I was just banging pieces out. It got really easy by the end. To wrap a car with decals is a lot easier than wrapping a whole car. So like over here, the GTR is wrapped. We brought this car to a place to get it done. So like wrapping the wrap around these edges and like coming up on here, that's really hard work. And then you also have to tuck in all the trim. That's a pain in the ass. Luckily with doing decals, it's almost like a giant sticker. And the bigger piece you have, the harder it's gonna be. So if you use small pieces, it's gonna be a lot easier. But I had small and big pieces, and by the end, I was just laying down big pieces and small pieces. So it's not as bad as it seems. So what's so great about this project is that it could be done on a budget. The most expensive part about it was the car wrap. I only got it for about $320, and I got 50 feet by 5 feet, which is plenty. I'm pretty sure you could wrap a whole sedan with that. And I used very few amount of tools, cheap tools, and I'll show you that right now. All right, here's all the tools that I used. It's not much. This is the vinyl. I'll leave a link in the description. It has this really cool lighting effect, and in dark it almost looks white. It holds up really well. So first we got the heat gun. I didn't even really use the heat gun. You could definitely get away without it, and they're cheap. You could get them for like 25 bucks, but it's good to have for bigger pieces and if you want to go around an edge that you need to wrap the bend. And then here's the squeegee. You can use a credit card, but I like the squeegee a lot more because it fits in my hand a lot better. The credit card's a little small. Here's the X-Acto knife. You could cut out pieces that you maybe don't like on the car, scissors to cut the vinyl or whatever else you need to cut. And then here's magnets that I used. I put the magnets on the vinyl against the car for those bigger pieces I needed to be held up. I didn't have anyone to help me, so I got a few magnets. And then very important, you definitely need some kind of degreaser or some kind of like rubbing alcohol to get the grease off of the car, because there's some grease that you might not be able to see, but it's there and it'll totally ruin your wrap. Soap does not get grease off, so make sure you get some sort of degreaser, rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna start off by cutting out the shapes I want in cardboard and using it as a template. All right, I got my first piece laid out. I'm gonna start trimming to the shape I want. So I'm gonna just cut small pieces off one by one. So I got my first piece cut out. This is my template I'm gonna keep for the headlights. Once I get all the templates cut out, I will start cutting out the vinyl. I'm gonna begin with the center strip on the hood now. I have this part taped down so I can see what I'm working with. And I'm going to trace it before I start cutting. All right, so I traced the shape out I want. I'm doing it only in a half, so when I go ahead and lay down the template on the vinyl, I can just flip it around to have an exact symmetrical shape. All right, I got this piece right here done. I have everything laid out, held it down by a little bit of tape. One problem I do have is I don't think I have enough cardboard, so as you can see, I taped some together to use extra pieces. I'm gonna have solid pieces covering almost half of the car, and I just simply don't have enough cardboard for that. I got this box over here, maybe one more inside. So I think I'm just gonna cut straight from the vinyl. But I do have 50 feet of this, so if I mess up, I will have plenty left to spare. All right, so I taped a piece here and a piece here for the length that I want the shape at. I measured it, it's around like 75 inches, but I'm doing 78. For a little extra length. Now I'm gonna cut out 78 inches of this, and then I'm gonna start trimming it to the shape I want. All right, so I measured from here to here. It was a little under 20 inches. I did that to see the height of the shape that I want, and the width of this is about 60 inches, which is perfect. So I could cut it in the middle. I could use both sides for each side of the car. Alright, I think I'm going to start with the back because on the door I have just pieces in the middle. It's going to be a little bit harder to measure that out. Alright, so I got it traced. The good thing about this wrap, there's a clear protective vinyl on top, so I can't really get it, but here it is. So the Sharpie won't show on the vinyl. All right, so I got it all cut out and taped on. It's not really perfect, but when I put it on, I'll make sure it's all cut out to size. All right, so here's the side, all finished. And also, it looks a little weird with the Sharpie, so once it's done, I'm gonna peel it off. It won't look like that. I just pulled all of the templates off and the vinyl, obviously, and they're all right here. So later I'm gonna trace them. I'm gonna flip them upside down, then I'm gonna retrace it, cut those out to have the symmetrical piece. All right, now for the centerpiece on the hood. I traced it, and now I'm just going to flip it. You can't really see the trace on camera, but it's there. And I'm gonna just line the stencil up with the shape, and then I'm gonna retrace it. Okay, I got all the pieces cut out. It took quite a while, but wasn't too bad. All right, so I'm gonna begin with the roof. I'm gonna start with this because it's a lot smoother. It's gonna be easier for me. And before I start, I'm gonna clean it off with some degreaser. All right, so I'm gonna begin laying down the vinyl. You shouldn't really need heat for this since it's so flat. So it should be a lot easier than it's going to be in the front. Sticky side. Alright, so since my paint job didn't come out so smooth, you can see all the little bumps coming up. It's a lot easier to see in person, but they're there. But it's not too bad. I think from a distance it'll look good. But altogether, I think it'll look good when it's all on. Alright, so I'm trying something different. Instead of peeling the entire sticky part off, I put this sticky piece down and left it all under. I'm gonna peel back the paper and lay it down. Alright, so I'm about to start this piece. I did this piece and I messed up right here, so I cut it out. I made it a little cut some edges out here to make it look cool. It looked like that everywhere, and I had it burnt too. I burned it from the heat gun. I might cut out some smaller pieces to fill in the gap. So the centerpiece, I also messed that up, so I'm gonna have to make a new one. Alright, so it's getting a little dark, so I'm gonna do this one last piece for tonight. I'm gonna cut out the ones that I messed up tonight, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, this is what I got done. It's getting a little late, so I'm gonna pack it up. I'm gonna cut some more pieces tonight to get started right away tomorrow. Still gotta do the front. Here's the roof. Alright, it's day 3. We were doing the centerpiece, this whole side, the rear, and I gotta touch up some of these parts like that. And I'm also gonna fill in some of the big gaps with smaller pieces. one last thing. I have these 2 stickers from my sponsor, Savage Vapor. And then I have a few stickers that I got over time that I want to throw on just to make it look cool. Alright, I'm completely finished. I'm really satisfied in how it came out. Here's this side.
We run it, summers we run it, spring and fall jogging be nothing.